All right, it looks like, yes, okay, finally, we are live. Hello, everyone. I just wanted to show you guys the car that we've been testing this week. It is the 2022 M5 CS, and I'm going to apologize in advance. There's a bit of construction going on in the background, so if there's a little bit of extra noise, I apologize for that. But M5 CS, this is the, I've been living with this thing for over a week, and frankly, it became my favorite BMW ever. It used to be the E92 M3, but it's now this thing because it's genuinely a very surprising car. So, what is the M5 CS? The M5 CS is essentially the higher performing version of the M5 competition. It's also the most powerful BMW ever made and the quickest one. 0 to 60 is 2.9 seconds, and the top speed is 190 miles an hour. Now, you will see that we did a lot of shooting and testing this morning because it's absolutely covered in bugs. So under the hood of this car is a 4.4 liter twin turbo V8. It makes 627 horsepower and 553 foot-pounds of torque. Like the regular M5, the CS is all-wheel drive, but it is a rear biased system. On the exterior front, the main thing that stands out as, revealing that it is the CS is going to be the gold wheels. The 20-inch gold wheels are exclusive to the CS, and check this out. I didn't know this until the car actually arrived, but gold exhaust tips as well on both sides. So you have carbon fiber in the center, gloss black, but gold there, gold in the badging, just letting you know that it's a special edition car. So I'm going to be giving you guys a tour, but here are some of the highlights just in case you want to check those out. Here's the interior, digital dash in front of the driver, big 12.3 inch screen in the middle, but the real deal here is the carbon backed seats. This car only comes with the carbon backed bucket seats, and they're a little uncomfortable if you're chunkier, let's say, but they're actually really good when you're driving quickly. And it has the buckets in the rear as well. So this car only seats four. And it has buckets front and rear, so interesting on that front. Now, the M5 CS is 10% stiffer than a regular M5, and it's also lower by 0.2 of an inch. So, visually, the big separators are going to be these sort of bronze goldish accents throughout. This one has a carbon fiber lip spoiler, and right now the DRLs are white, but when you drive, the DRLs go yellow. So let me see if I can actually show you that. If I lock the car, have them, we'll wait until they shut off. But in the meantime, this car is supposed to come with P0 Corsas, but because this is a press car that has lived a very rough life, it's not on the original set of tires. This one has Pilot Sport 4S's, and these are actually my favorite tires, to be honest with you. I like them more than the Pirellis. So let's see if I can get those DRLs in yellow. There they go. Check that out. So when you drive, they're yellow like this. And frankly, as the sun starts to set, this car has such a menacing front end, and I think those DRLs help a lot. I see some of you asking about, let's see, hold on, price. Okay, that's a really interesting one. So pricing for the M5 CS is $142,000 MSRP plus $995 for destination, but the M5 CS is only available for the 2022 model year. So there's not a limited amount of them unit wise, but it's only for the 2022 model year. So after this model year, the M5 CS is done forever. However, I have seen these trading for well over 200 grand, which is a lot, even if it is the best best car BMW currently makes. Here's the rear of the car. One thing that I saw some of you guys point out was the fact that it looks kind of small. And it actually, I agree with that, because so when I got into the new M3 for the very first time, I thought, wow, this is like a freaking huge car, having driven the E46 or E90 or E92. And this car does not feel significantly larger than an M3, which was very surprising because it has like an extra 130 horsepower. So, weight wise, this thing is 4,100 pounds, and it actually doesn't feel that way. It actually hides its weight really, really well. Let's see, what was another one of the questions? Dual clutch? No dual clutch on this. It's a regular 8-speed automatic, but it feels as fast as freaking any dual clutch. The tuning on it is actually really, really nice, and downshifts are really crisp, and I think it does a good job of handling all the power. The official reason why there's no dual clutch, I've heard whispers of it being that the dual clutch can't handle this much power and the automatic can, but again, I don't have exact confirmation of that. Someone said full-time all-wheel drive. Yes, and so this car is all-wheel drive, but you can disengage the front, so you can send all the power to the rear if you want to. And there's actually varying modes. So for example, when you start up the car in regular like comfort mode, the all-wheel drive system has a pretty even split, but still prioritizing the rear. When you put it in sport mode, it sends more of it. It's more biased to the rear. And then in full track mode, you can actually send 100% of the power to the rear. So if you want to drift it or do whatever, it is absolutely a possibility. Let's see. Anything else? Is there anything you guys want to see in particular about this car? One thing I really like is that, so you look at the roof. The roof's all carbon, and so are the mirror caps, right? And you know, there's carbon in the hood, carbon in the lip, but they didn't put a bunch of carbon on the inside. This may look kind of like carbon, but it's plastic. Whoops. There we go. Okay, sorry, my little stabilizer decided to stop working for a second, but they didn't line the interior up with just a ton of carbon fiber, and I like that because the seats are already very racy, so if you had a bunch of carbon fiber, it'd be a bit over the top for something that's essentially a big luxury sedan. There's this little lip spoiler in the back, also finished in carbon fiber. And let's see. Yep. Here, the diffuser actually is kind of interesting because it's not all carbon fiber, just the centerpiece is carbon. The rest is sort of this like gloss black trim, kind of like on a regular. Are there sweet carbon bits under the hood? You know what? That's a great question, Eric. And also, thank you for joining the live. I really appreciate the support. So let's check that out. I actually, geez, little stabilizer's not trying to play along today. Yes, let's pop the hood. I have not done this yet. There it is. More carbon under the hood. So 4.4 liter twin turbo V8. And look at the underside of this carbon fiber hood. Got the M5 Cs logo right there. Now, so just in case you're joining a little bit later in the live, so 627 horsepower, 553 foot-pounds of torque. It reaches 60 in 2.9 seconds. Top speed is 190. 8-speed automatic, all-wheel drive. It's the M5 CS, but little carbon fiber cover there. This thing is really stuffed in there. There's no extra room absolutely anywhere. I cannot imagine trying to work on this thing, but it is a wonderful, wonderful engine, and it makes a wonderful, wonderful sound. The only problem, I think, with the engine is that you can't really hear it. It's so refined that even though it has an upgraded exhaust, you can't really hear much of it. Most of what you hear is what's pumped in through the speakers, which is a little unfortunate, but oh well. That is modern car. That's a lot of modern cars, aren't they? Anyway, so carbon ceramic brakes. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier. These are ceramics. The freaking, look at how big the caliper is. It really fills up the space behind that wheel. They work really, really well. I was going up on the canyons at let's say a certain speed, and those brakes did really, really, really well. So let me show you the inside as I drop myself into these bucket seats. Here is the dash. Hold on. Right there. You know what? We're going to go handheld. Forget the gimbal. We're going to go handheld for this one. Okay, so here is the dash. If it'll focus. Let's turn this sucker on. Yep, so here's the dash. Digital dash in front of you. This is the main configuration. Oh my God, come on, focus. Please. There we go. Okay, so that's the standard dash layout, but as soon as you hit M mode, it goes into this updated layout, which you have your gear select in the center, speed, and the revs on the side. I just, for those who are curious, I have covered exactly 503 miles in the new M5 CS. Here's the big map in the center. It's all standard BMW M5 in here, so everything works really well. We have carbon fiber paddles with the red M1 and 2 buttons, Alcantara steering wheel. Actually, how do I turn that off for a second? Like I mentioned earlier, this is not carbon fiber. It's actually plastic, but it looks like carbon fiber and has the CS logo there. Here is the center console. Again, a little bit dusty. It's, you know, I've done over 500 miles on this thing. And so yep, so here is the steering wheel. I really like the stitching. I'm glad that they didn't do any contrast stitching. I feel like there's already enough going on with the design of this car, so keeping it simple actually goes a long way. So now that we're here, anything you guys want to see? Anything you guys want to know? You know, we are, let's see. In the meantime, I can talk to you about future cars. Next week, we're getting an Audi R8 Spider. So I'll hopefully be doing a live with that, and obviously a video and written review and all that good stuff. So if you want to know more about this M5 CS or literally any of the other cars I test for review, please make sure to go to DuPont Daily, check out the review section, and our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel could really use some help. So if you can give us a couple of looks over there. I had a really cool Aventador video on there. I reviewed Maserati MC20, and then obviously this M5 CS will be on there. Let's see. Someone says, let's test the speed. Well, check out YouTube. There will be a full video with tons of speed. I promise, tons of speed and sound. For the person who asked, here's the trunk space. Standard 5 Series, which means it's enormous. I really after living with this car for a week, it's surprisingly nice because it's like super car fast, but very practical. You can fit 4 people. I did all my groceries in it. Like, it's absolutely wonderful in that aspect. Let's see. Test driftability, please. You know what? I would love if BMW wouldn't get totally mad for me destroying these tires. I would love to do some driftability. And even like the M3 and M4 have like that drift analyzer, which I may or may not have tested on the track last year. But absolutely, this car can slide with no problems whatsoever. So do a Nissan Altima next. That's awesome, man. I would love to do a Nissan Altima. I feel like doing a Nissan Altima review in the sort of supercar style would be so fun. Just kind of over the top, but with like a normal car. Awesome. Someone says, Radical Dude says, what about attention? What does the attention feel like in this car? So that's actually kind of something surprising because I was expecting nobody to care about this car. Because in general, you know, you see an M5 on the road and okay, cool, it's a cool car, but nobody really cares. But that is not the case with this car. I've gotten so many photos, videos taken of me while driving this thing, especially by people in other BMWs, that it's actually quite surprising. I didn't think that many people knew what the M5 CS was, and more so just kind of spot it. Now, one thing that's kind of interesting about the CS is the fact that it's only available in 3 colors. The only interior color is the black leather with the red accents, and the exterior colors, you have a choice of like gray, matte gray, or like another matte color. Like there's only 3 dark finishes, and I think they do that on purpose so it matches nicely with like the gold accents. And I think this car looks spectacular, and I wouldn't want the interior any other way. Just another quick peek here for those of you who are joining a little bit late. Here's my broken gimbal. But this one has the carbon back seats, and again, they're all black leather with the sort of red stitching. But it's kind of interesting. This car is probably about to go out of the fleet. It's been in the press fleet for, about a year now. So I'm sure this will be the last time we see the M5 CS. I'm really gonna miss this car. This is probably the best modern BMW they currently make. It used to be the M2 CS for me, but I think now it's the M5 CS. Really masterpiece of a car. So I think, let's see if let me double check if we have it. Not if we don't have any other questions. Rev it, please. You know what? I'll rev it for you. Okay, let's turn it on and we'll rev it really quick because okay, we're in this parking lot. It's the middle of the day, so chances we get kicked out are slim. So little rev it is. Okay. All right, so here, there it is. Put that sucker neutral. Let's go sport, so we open up the valves. All right. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. I cannot film from the outside because it's just me, but I hope that's enough. It doesn't really sound all that loud inside, does it? It's pretty quiet. I was kind of a bit disappointed by that, I'm not gonna lie. Open the door. Well, I just opened the door. For those of you asking to see the engine, I just showed that a few minutes ago, but I will leave this live up, so if you want to go back and look at anything, feel free to do so. Let's see, is it holding value pretty well in the current market? Absolutely. I mean, if you can get your hands, even buy one of these things, I've seen them listed online for $50,000 over sticker. You know, I know some of you are asking for base price. This one is, let's see, what's your phone outside the car and go rev it up. I don't have anywhere to actually stand up the phone, so apologies for that. Maybe I'll get somebody to help me out on the next live. But base price is $142,000 plus $995 for destination. That's at sticker, that's MSRP. But if you try to buy one right now, they're like over 200, and I have, because it's like a limited production run, I don't see them dipping very far if I had to really guess. And also, it's just actually something really special. So, some of you guys want to see the back seats. I've got probably a couple more minutes before I need to head out here. But, let's see. Here are the back seats. This one has, like I mentioned earlier, the buckets. So, no seat in the center. It has buckets in the front with the carbon back. And it has the buckets in that back. Let's see a couple more questions here. What is the MSRP on this one? I believe this one, because the thing is, with the M5 CS includes a bunch of the options. Like, the package includes pretty much everything. I think this one, as it sits, it's like 149 or 140. Don't quote me on that, like mid 140s, but not much more than the original base price. Someone says, is it that much better than a standard M5 of the same year? I would argue, yes, it is. The crazy thing about this car, so the M5 is without a doubt an incredibly fast car. In any guise, whether it be competition or non-competition, the M5 is a really, really, really fast thing. But the CS, the difference is it only has 10 more horsepower. So the big difference isn't in the horsepower aspect. It's more so in the way it does corners. This car, it just ignores the laws of physics. It really just manages to corner completely flat and completely stable at speeds that a car that weighs 4,100 pounds shouldn't be able to. So that's the difference, I would say. And it just feels like a much more capable car. And so I would argue that it is worth the price above. How many have been made? We don't know yet, because it wasn't technically a limited production run. It was just available only for the 2022 model year. So we'll see once production finishes how many were actually made. Oh, this is a good question. Unfortunately, I don't know the exact name of the color, but this is one of the two frozen finishes. The M5 CS is only available in 3 colors, and this is one of the matte ones. But they're all dark colors. There's no light colored M5 CSs, as far as I know. So, I hope I answered all your questions. Is there anything else you guys want to know before I head out here? I'm gonna do one little final pass for questions, and then we'll head out here. Where are you located at? So, all our reviews, we're doing them in Los Angeles because we have much more access to cars. So, like I mentioned earlier, next week we're gonna have an Audi R8 Spider, and then I'm hoping to get on a list for Mercedes EQS. And so forth. But if there's any cars you guys want to see, please make sure to leave them in the comments here. Or remember, go to our YouTube channel. That's where all our like full length videos are, and you can see my face and driving expensive cars. So thank you guys all so much for your time. I will see you guys hopefully on another live, and until then, take care.